Dustin Poirier explained why he still dislikes Michael Chandler so much, and even though their fight happened back in 2022, the animosity between them has never faded. The two squared off inside the octagon, with Poirier securing a victory via rear naked choke in the 3rd round. But despite the win, Poirier still holds a grudge against Chandler and doesn't hide his feelings when talking about him. He has repeatedly called Chandler a dirty fighter and admitted that just thinking about their fight still makes him angry to this day. Dustin explained, "A long time ago, I was at a Bellator event, comes in the back, and I just wanted to come over and shake your hand. I respect you so much, man. Your career has been awesome. You've had so many great fights. You've come back from adversity. So nice to finally meet you and shake your hand." Fast forward a year or two, Chandler makes it to the UFC, and suddenly, he's talking trash on me. Then I saw him in Vegas. He was coming to an event at the T-Mobile Arena, and that was the first time I saw him since. So I say, "You little bit." He walked in front of me, security comes over, and I said, "Man, you fake, I will beat your," and then they booked the fight. He's fake, bro. He might be a good person at home, but my personal experience, he's fake, man. But we do this with our fists, so I was even more mad. Let's fight then. And he's a cheater, bro. I could go on for days. I get so amped up about this. I get pissed off. He does all kinds of dirty tricks. Blows the blood in my eyes after I break his nose. That's cool. I've done that before, but I admitted it after. And then Chandler. I brought it up and he said he didn't do it. Just admit it, bro. You're so fake. Then he stuck his fingers in my mouth to lift my neck up for a rear naked choke. He's on my back. I'm trying to get off the fence. He sticks his fingers inside my mouth, grips my mouth guard, pulls my head up to try to get his hand under my chin. Bro, I bite his fingers so hard. Let me tell you what, you heard it here first. If I didn't have a mouth guard on and my teeth could touch together, he'd be walking around with 2 less fingers forever. I had a grip so good because I felt my bottom teeth go into his skin. I bet you he was cut. He knows what I'm talking about. Moving on, Henry Cejudo does not regret his decision. He made it clear that he didn't want to risk being knocked out by Song Yadong. Cejudo stands by his choice to inform officials that he was seeing double during his fight at UFC Seattle, which ultimately led to the bout being stopped and Song Yadong winning via technical decision. Despite the outcome, Cejudo emphasized that he has no regrets, making it clear that he would rather take a loss than put himself in danger of suffering a knockout. Cejudo explained his reasoning in a conversation with Kamaru Usman, stating, "No, but honestly, Kamaru, I don't regret my decision. I don't regret my decision. Even though it's going to be counted as a loss on my record, I don't, because I wanted to give myself that shot, dude." So even when there was that minute and 16 seconds left, I was like, hey man, I'm gonna ride this thing out, and then I'm gonna get another minute, and then hopefully everything comes back, and then I'm gonna go straight Marlon Moraes style on this dude in the 4th and 5th round, because then I would know that one of those 3 rounds, obviously because I ran that round, was his. But I had to really man up in the 4th and 5th round, and I knew that. That's the competitor in me. Cejudo also addressed the way he handled the situation, emphasizing that he stayed calm and composed despite the circumstances. I was really calm and relaxed too. Like, it's not like I could have acted out. I could have really used my acting skills, but that wasn't the point, you know? The point was for me to be composed and go back out there and try to win the fight. But when I knew that I gave this dude a 5-minute break and the fact that he was coming back, I'm just like, dude. And then I'm seeing double of Song. He went on to explain just how serious the issue was and why he made the difficult decision to stop. Dude, it just wasn't going to be fair to me, dude. I was like, dude, I can take an L, dude. I'm not going to take a knockout. I can't see, or I could see, but I was seeing too much. I was seeing too many of him, and it's like, think of a computer, you know, when it's glitchy or whatever. That's kind of how it feels. It's crazy. It's just a crazy feeling, man. Cejudo's mindset is clear. He wanted to continue fighting, but with his vision compromised, he knew the risk of getting knocked out wasn't worth it. Do you think he made the right call? Let me know in the comments below. Robert Whittaker wants to fight Strickland next. This is a fight that has been brewing for quite some time, and now Whittaker believes it's the perfect time to finally make it happen. Both men have been at the top of the middleweight division for years, yet somehow their paths have never crossed inside the octagon. But with both fighters coming off recent losses, the matchup makes even more sense as they both look to rebound and reassert themselves as title contenders. Whittaker suffered a tough first-round submission loss to Khamzat Chimaev back in October, where he was overwhelmed by Chimaev's relentless pressure and grappling. Meanwhile, Strickland, the former middleweight champion, recently lost his belt to Dricus du Plessis via unanimous decision in a closely contested fight that could have gone either way. With both men eager to get back on track, Whittaker sees Strickland as the ideal opponent, and it appears the feeling is mutual. Speaking about the potential fight, Whittaker shared his thoughts. I think Strickland makes a good argument to have. I feel like we've both been in that top sort of pond for a while, circling each other. For whatever reason, we haven't been matched up, but we've both been in proximity for a while. It's most likely the fight to make. I'm excited by that fight. I look at his style and I find it curious. I find it exciting to try to work out. He's a tough dude. I've obviously been working on new things, new skill sets. I want to come back this year in June. That's when I want to put my hand up to fight. It's clear that Whittaker is motivated, and a fight with Strickland would be a high-profile clash between two of the best middleweights in the world. Strickland is known for his relentless pressure, unorthodox striking, and strong durability, while Whittaker brings a high-level striking game, elite footwork, and championship experience. This is a fight that stylistically makes sense, and one that has the potential to be a fan-favorite war. The fans have been calling for this matchup for a while, and now it looks like there's a real chance we could see these two warriors settle their differences in the cage. Who do you think wins? Does Whittaker get back to the top, or does Strickland bounce back and reclaim his status as a title contender? Let me know in the comments below. Arman Tsarukyan gets heated with Dan Hooker. The rivalry between these two lightweight contenders has been simmering for a while, but things escaled last month when Tsarukyan withdrew from his scheduled bout against Islam Makhachev. His decision to pull out due to injury sparked a wave of criticism from fellow fighters, but no one was louder than Dan Hooker. Hooker didn't hold back and was quick to mock Tsarukyan for pulling out of the fight. He questioned the severity of the injury and implied that Tsarukyan was making excuses to avoid facing Makhachev. Hooker, who has always prided himself on being a warrior willing to fight under any circumstances, made his feelings very clear in an interview last month. He said, "That's our sport, brother. It's never smooth sailing. How are you getting injured on your day off? I've got no idea. I thought it was pretty strange, bro. And now I obviously saw Dana White just say that he ain't getting the title shot next and he's gonna have to work his way back up." Tsarukyan was furious after hearing Hooker's comments and wasted no time firing back. He took to social media to call out Hooker, mocking him for his own recent injury that forced him to pull out of a fight with Justin Gaethje. Tsarukyan posted, "Karma doesn't miss, big mouth. Glass hands. Maybe just stick to talking instead of fighting." But Hooker, never one to back down, responded in typical fashion, taking a personal jab at Tsarukyan by writing, "If only your dad pulled out quicker than your last fight." At this point, it's very clear that there's bad blood between these two. With both men being hard-nosed, aggressive fighters, a potential matchup inside the octagon would be nothing short of a war. Tsarukyan, currently one of the top-ranked lightweights, has been pushing for a title shot, but his recent withdrawal may have derailed those plans. Meanwhile, Hooker is eager to climb back up the ranks and prove that he's still a threat in the division. If the UFC decides to book this fight, expect fireworks. Who do you think wins in a potential clash between Tsarukyan and Hooker? Would Tsarukyan's relentless grappling be too much for Hooker, or could Hooker's toughness and striking make the difference? Let me know in the comments below. Michael Chandler now doubts Conor McGregor will return. For months, fans have been eagerly waiting for an official announcement regarding Conor McGregor's long-anticipated comeback, but as time drags on without any confirmation, Michael Chandler is beginning to lose faith in the Irish superstar's return. Chandler, who has been penciled in as McGregor's comeback opponent for over a year, recently spoke to Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour and revealed that he's starting to question whether the fight will ever happen. Despite his own strong belief that McGregor still has the desire to fight, Chandler admitted that if he were a betting man, he wouldn't put money on the former double champion actually stepping back into the cage. He explained, "Conor is always a part of my conversations with the UFC, man. His road back to the UFC goes through me. That is the UFC UFC sentiment, and I believe that's his sentiment. My heart of hearts says Conor is coming back at some point, but if I'm a betting man, if I'm using my brain, I wouldn't put money on it. This is a significant shift in tone from Chandler, who has remained optimistic about the fight for months. He has repeatedly stated that McGregor has verbally committed to fighting him, and that he has been training with the expectation that it will happen. However, with no official fight date and McGregor's continued absence from the UFC's active roster, Chandler isn't so sure anymore. McGregor last fought in July 2021, suffering a devastating leg break against Dustin Poirier at UFC 264. While he has teased a return multiple times, constant delays, outside business ventures, and UFC negotiations have kept him from officially booking a fight. At this point, fans are left wondering, will McGregor ever return, or has he moved on from fighting for good? And if he does come back, will Chandler still be the opponent waiting for him? What do you guys think? Is McGregor ever stepping back into the octagon? And if not, should Chandler look for another fight instead of waiting? Let me know in the comments below.